The United States has tabled its own UN Security Council draft resolution on Gaza ahead of today's vote on an Algerian resolution calling for an immediate ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, which the US has promised to veto. Although it is the first US draft that supports a ceasefire, it is referred to as a temporary one as soon as practicable and based on the formula of all hostages being released. The US draft resolution underscores that the Israeli offensive against the Gazan town of Rafah should not proceed, citing circumstances under which such an attack would result in further harm to civilians and their further displacement, including potentially into neighboring countries, which would have serious implications for regional peace as well as security. Sanjiv Sethi, international affairs expert, is joining us live. Sanjiv, this would be interesting if the US does bring about such a resolution.
Well, Uday, first of all, a very good morning to you. Good morning to all the viewers. Uday, I think this is a significant development because United States of America is the closest ally of Israel. And in this war against Hamas, United States of America thus far had been providing its full support and solidarity, which I believe that will continue. But at the same time, United States of America is also concerned about the humanitarian crisis which the people of Gaza are facing at this point of time, and that must be addressed. And also there is another situation, that is hostage situation, that should also be resolved as quickly as possible. So third factor is also very important, that there must not be any regional escalation of this conflict, these are the imperatives United States of America is working with. And that is why in this current resolution which the United States of America is bringing out for the first time, it is calling for temporary ceasefire, so that there could be some relief to the offensive which is going on in Gaza, to the common people. Also, United States of America is proposing that there should be further negotiations and dialogue to ensure the early release of those hostages which are still there in Hamas's captivity. And to ensure this, also United States of America has been trying very hard, along with Egypt, along with Qatar and other countries. But these negotiations are still to be succeeded. So in this regard, I think United States of America's initiative is a very significant initiative. Also, in this resolution, there is a clear message from the United States of America to Israel that they must not proceed with the kind of a ground offensive Israeli defense forces are planning in the town of Rafah. Because at this point of time, about 1.4 million people are taking shelter in Rafah, and that is the only very significant point where from where this humanitarian aid is reaching to the people of Gaza. And if that town comes under the major ground offensive, that will create catastrophic situation. That will be beyond imagination. The kind of situation will prevail after that kind of a ground offensive which Israel is planning. So I think there's a clear message to the Israel from the United States of America that whatever the actions they are taking at this point of time in Gaza, they must proceed with the caution. Anyway, Israel has achieved enormous success against its war against Hamas in Gaza, and they must have some patience. And they must proceed with their operations in such a way that humanitarian crisis does not get any further deepened. There should not be any collateral damages any further. So I think that's why United States of America's initiative is a very significant initiative. In my belief, this is a responsible initiative, and the entire international community want to see that a responsible end of this war. Hamas must be defeated. That imperative must be met. But at the same time, the people of Gaza and the entire situation in Gaza must also get addressed, so that common people does not suffer anymore. Already about 30,000 people have died in Gaza, and there should not be, this number must not rise anymore. So I think in that regard, that's why I say that this initiative, this proposal from the United States of America in the United Nations is a very significant initiative, and this I hope that Israel will give a serious consideration to it. The kind of voices, the kind of resolutions, even from the United States of America,
yes,
is coming, and they must not proceed with any kind of a major ground offensive in Rafah at this point of time.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.